Gloria Jenkins, 76 years old, boarded the bus slowly, her joints aching in that deep, settled way that comes only after a lifetime of long days and quiet sacrifices. The sun was high over Wichita Falls, and though her body felt worn, her heart carried a soft kind of joy. Just hours earlier, she had held her newborn great-grandson in her arms, Elijah, the first boy born to her family in years. She had spent the night at the hospital, spoon-fed soup to her granddaughter, wiped counters, kissed that baby's tiny brow, and whispered blessings over him. Now, all she wanted was a seat, one near the front where it was easier to get up, stretch, her knees and rest. It wasn't about principle. It was about pain, about age, about simply getting off her feet. She sat, exhaled, and let her eyes drift toward the window, the hum of the bus settling into her bones like an old lullaby. A few seats back, teenagers whispered over earbuds. Someone scrolled loudly through their phone. The usual noise of a weekday afternoon, until the next stop. The man who climbed on moved like a storm on legs. Hoodie partially zipped, baseball cap pulled low. He didn't even look around before locking eyes with Gloria, still seated by the front. "You lost, Grandma?" he said, voice loud and cutting. "Seats in the back. Or did you forget how this works?" The bus seemed to pause, like even the engine had taken a breath. Conversations died mid-sentence. Shoes stopped tapping. One of the kids slowly removed an earbud. A hush fell, thick and tight. But Gloria didn't look away. She didn't shrink. She lifted her chin, just slightly, and replied with a voice that was even and certain. "I'm sitting right where I need to be." The man flared. "Oh, that's how it is? Think you're making a statement, huh? This isn't some civil rights documentary." His tone carried challenge, but Gloria wasn't hearing him anymore, not really. Her thoughts were somewhere else, somewhere dusty and distant. She remembered the time her brother was dragged from a lunch counter. She remembered signs outside, restrooms, the long walks in rain because the bus didn't stop for people like her. "I paid my fare like everyone else," she said. "That's all there is to it." The man took a step closer, looming. "You think Rosa Parks makes you special? You think history gives you a free ride?" Still, no one moved, not even the driver. And yet something on the bus had shifted. The silence wasn't fear anymore. It was watching, waiting, a tension that prickled like static. One girl near the back glanced from Gloria to the man, her fingers brushing her phone but not quite raising it yet. Another passenger leaned slightly forward, sensing what might come next. "You people always think you're owed something," the man spat, voice lower now, searching for allies. That's when someone stood. She was older too, but not frail. White, hair pulled into a neat twist, dressed in a beige coat and sneakers. She looked like someone's retired teacher or a choir volunteer. "That's enough," she said plainly. The man turned, sneering. "Stay out of it." "My name's Margaret." "West," she replied, "and I'm not staying quiet while you harass an elder for no reason." He scoffed. "You people always make it about race." "You made it about race the moment you opened your mouth," she shot back. "Now step aside." He blinked, startled, not by her words, but by the fact that someone else had said something. But before he could retort, a soft voice from the rear cut through the moment. "You need to leave her alone." It was another woman, younger this time, black, late 20s, hair pulled back, college sweatshirt on. Calm but unmoving, she walked forward. "My name's Tasha, and you don't talk to her like that. Not on this bus. Not in front of us. The yay." Man looked around again, realizing for the first time that the crowd wasn't on his side. Someone had a phone out now. Recording. Quiet. Obvious. "Put that down," he barked. "No," Tasha said. "If you're bold enough to say it in public, be bold enough to let the world hear it." Still seated, Gloria hadn't moved. Her purse still rested gently in her lap. But the energy around her had changed, protective, alert. Like a circle had formed without anyone taking a step. The man turned back to the driver, his frustration rising. "You just gonna let this happen?" The driver, middle-aged and weathered from years of driving this route, didn't flinch. He calmly reached for the radio. "This is Route 12. We've got a disturbance. Sending location now." "You've gotta be kidding me," the man muttered. "Over what? A joke?" The girl in the back finally spoke up, earbuds now tucked away. "You think humiliation is a joke?" He turned to her, but the weight of the moment was dragging him down now. Nobody yelled, nobody pushed. That was the worst part for him. He couldn't play victim. They were just watching. Tasha stepped closer to Gloria. "You all right, ma'am?" "I've been through worse," Gloria said quietly. This is noise." The bus was silent again, but this time, the silence belonged to Gloria. It moved around her like armor. The man stood still, pride catching in his throat. But the driver had already pulled the bus to the curb. He looked into the mirror. "You've got two choices," the driver said. "Get off or wait for security." Still, no one shouted. No one moved to touch him. They didn't need to. The moment had already chosen its side, and he knew it. The Texas sun was dipping low when Gloria Mayfield boarded the Route 12 bus in Wichita Falls. Her legs felt like stone. Every step a reminder of years of wear, staircases, long hospital nights, and the kind of tired sleep can't fix. She'd spent most of the night with her granddaughter, who had just given birth to a baby boy. Elijah. First one in the family with that name. Gloria had rocked him gently, whispered blessings on his tiny forehead, and promised she'd return soon. She wasn't looking for trouble when she took the seat near the front. She just needed to sit. The bus exhaled a metallic sigh as the doors folded closed. Inside, people spoke in murmurs. Headphones leaked music, and shoes squeaked against rubber flooring. Gloria leaned her head gently against the window, soaking in the quiet hum of motion. Then he stepped on. Mid-30s, cap tugged low, a hoodie that looked worn in and zipped halfway up like it was trying to contain something restless. The way he moved wasn't hurried, just sharp, each step like he was daring the world to challenge him. Before paying, his eyes zeroed in on Gloria. "You deaf or just playing dumb?" he growled, loud enough to snuff out every other sound on the bus. "Get in the back, Rosa." The air snapped. Even the teenager playing YouTube highlights muted his phone. A few heads turned toward the windows, pretending to be interested in passing trees. Gloria didn't flinch. She looked up, calm and even. "I'm sitting where I need to be." Her voice wasn't loud, but it carried a weight, the kind that comes from a lifetime of standing firm without standing up. The man scowled, now blocking the aisle completely. "Don't play with me, Grandma. You're not Rosa Parks. That was ages ago. Sit back there with the rest." No one moved. Not Gloria, not the driver, not the passengers. Gloria, however, wasn't focused on him anymore. Her mind drifted. Protests, signs hoisted high, the sickening crack of water hoses on black and white. TV screens. Her brother marching in Mississippi. Her first job, the chipped mug marked colored. This wasn't new. "I paid just like everyone else," she said. "I'm not moving." A fuse had been lit. The man shifted his weight, his foot tapping. Against the floor, his jaw twitching. He wanted someone to react, yell, plead, give him an excuse to go bigger. But all he got was Gloria sitting still, eyes on him like she'd seen men like him all her life. "You people always act like someone owes you something," he muttered, sweeping his eyes across the passengers. "Like you're better than the rest of us." Nobody backed him. A teenage girl at the back pulled out an earbud. Her eyes met Gloria's for a second. Then she looked away. The man pointed at Gloria again, hand trembling slightly. "I said move." Gloria looked him full in the face, and for the first time, he wavered. Her eyes didn't show fear. They showed something else, an unshakable steadiness. You ever look a sheriff in the eye while he holds a baton in one hand and your brother's life in the other? She asked quietly. Ever walk home in the rain because your stop was blocks too far for his comfort? He didn't reply. You use Rosa Parks' name like it's an insult, she added. You think that name shames me? Somewhere in the back, someone whispered, "Wow." The man's bravado began to crack. Still, he tried again. You always want to be victims, he said, louder this time. That's when Sylvia Rowan stood up. Late 60s, white, silver-haired, wrapped in a tan trench coat like the wind wouldn't dare touch her. That's enough, she said, her voice firm and level. He turned on her. Mind your business. This is my business, she replied. I've sat beside women like her for decades. I'm not sitting silent now, the man stuttered. What are you, some old liberal? I'm someone who recognizes decency, and this ain't it. Then a soft click echoed. A man near the back, coat buttoned high, held up his phone, recording. You're live, he said. The man froze. Don't record me, you yelled. In public, Sylvia said, stepping closer. Now let the world see. Before he could find his words, a woman near the back stood. Late 20s, hoodie with a State College logo. Slim, composed. Camille Dorsey. You can't talk to her like that, she said. Not on this bus. Not today. The man tried one more bluff. I'll say what I want. Camille raised her chin. Louder doesn't make you right. He looked around again. The crowd wasn't moving, but they weren't with him. My grandfather marched in Selma, Camille said. You don't get to toss Rosa Parks around like she was a joke. Sylvia stood to his left. Camille to his right. He was boxed in by people who refused to be small. I should call the cops. He barked, pointing toward the phones. You're filming me! This is harassment! Sylvia crossed her arms. Call them! Camille smiled. Let's get your name on record. The man glanced at the driver, Ruben Ortiz, a lean man in his, 50s who'd driven that route for over a decade. He didn't flinch. Either sit or step off, Ruben said. You're not holding this bus hostage. I didn't do anything. You brought hate aboard, Ruben said, voice still calm. Now you deal with the fallout. A white and blue transit SUV rolled up just beyond the windshield. Ruben opened the door. 2 officers stepped inside. One black, one Latino, clipboards in hand, body cams blinking. Afternoon, said the taller one. Which one's the issue? Everyone. Pointed. This is insane, the man shouted. I didn't touch anyone. Ruben walked down and handed the officers a printed report. Verbal aggression, racial provocation, obstruction. You're coming with us, the officer said. I didn't break the law. No, the officer replied. You broke every decent rule of being human. You can defend yourself out. There. Not on this bus. The man stiffened, looking for backup. Nobody met his eyes, not even the kid who chuckled earlier. Fine, he growled. You'll all be sorry when this goes viral. It already did, the officer replied. He stepped off, escorted. The bus exhaled. The kind of breath you take when a storm has passed, but the thunder still echoes. Ruben adjusted his mirror. You ready, ma'am? Gloria nodded. Thank you. No, he said. Thank you. Outside, a young woman named Brianna was still live streaming. She'd been walking home, iced tea in hand, when she saw the commotion. Now thousands were watching. That man just told a 70-something-year-old black woman to get in the back, she said. In 2025. Inside the bus, no one moved fast. The atmosphere had changed, still, reflective. Camille turned to Gloria. He's still out there, looking like he just got caught copying homework. Gloria chuckled. People like him always feel like the victim when they lose the room. From the back, a young man leaned forward. Thank you, he said. My grandma would have done the same. Then carry her strength, Gloria told him. Especially when it's hard. The pink-haired woman near the middle lifted her tablet. I'm telling my mom about this. Her class is reading about the Freedom Riders. They need to know this stuff still happens. Camille nodded. Tell them we didn't stay quiet, Reuben called out. If my daughters ever end up in a moment like this, I hope folks stand like y'all did. No one applauded. They just sat in the peace they'd earned. At the next stop, Sylvia gathered her things and turned. I've lived a long time, she said, but today felt like a good one. Later, Gloria stepped off near 14th and Reynolds, the sun painting gold across cracked sidewalks. She didn't head straight home. Instead, she wandered toward a mural tucked near a community playground. Rosa Parks, painted large, eyes forward, eternal. Gloria sat on a bench across the street and pulled out a photo, her granddaughter holding Elijah. I didn't move today, she whispered. Not for pride, just couldn't shrink. A father passed with his daughter. The girl pointed to the mural. Who's that? She asked. That's Rosa Parks, he replied. She helped change the world. The girl stared. Can I do that too? Gloria smiled, rising slowly. If you felt something reading this, anything, don't let it end here. Speak up, show up, sit where you belong, and help others do the same.